Hello and welcome to another episode of In Swinging Yorkers with me Sushant Tiwari, where we talk to interesting people about their cricketing journeys. And for today's episode, I have the privilege of hosting ex-vice captain of ACC4, who's also one of the funniest people I've come across in this team. I'd like to welcome Vivek. Thank you for taking some time out.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Sushant, for inviting me to this podcast. Yeah, in a way, I feel kind of privileged to be invited because before this, I have not done any podcast or speaking in any kind of show. So this is very special for me as well. And I am finding it quite interesting. And thanks for the lovely welcome. We have a cup of coffee and some crackers and a good introduction by Sushant. I hope that puts me in a good face throughout this podcast. And thank you.
Of course it does. And all the 3 podcast followers that I have, they will be happy to hear some stories that you're going to share today. So thanks for taking some time
Sure.
out. Vivek, I mentioned already before we started recording this that once we were hanging out after the game and you were sharing the story of how you've traveled across the world, but also most importantly where you come from, a very small part of India, very small town or village. And I also resonated with the same because I also come from a small town in India. And already at that point, I knew that if I ever start a podcast, I would like to share this story with whoever wants to listen to this, So my first question to you is, what is your first memory of cricket? How did you get introduced to the game?
Okay, so in the initial phases of my life, as you already mentioned, I was not very much exposed to cricket because I come from a village, which is kind of a literal village in India, which you see in India. And there, cricket was not so popular as you can say, or people doesn't used to play cricket. It was a small village and all the fields around. But then I moved to town for my education, and that was the time when my father got a job in government, and then we could afford to move to a town, and that's where when cricket was introduced. And that was my first memory is when I started staying in the town. I see some town guys playing cricket, and that intrigued me, and that's how I was introduced. Means being in India, cricket is not very unfamiliar at any point of your life.
That's true.
Yeah, so be it in a village or a town or a big city, you're always exposed in some way or the other.
Yeah.
And that was the case with me as well. So my cricketing journey started with that small town. The town is also very small.
And what's the name of the town?
It is called Dibyapur.
Okay.
It is in Uttar Pradesh, and it lies in the middle, somewhere in between Etawah and Kanpur.
Okay. And what's the population of that town?
Yeah, means that town would have now a bigger population. When I stayed there during my younger days, I would say. At that time, it would have been around 1,200 people.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really small town for India.
Yeah, exactly.
Just 1,000 people.
And it's a town, I would say, not a village.
Okay.
So, and given the town population, I would say, as you already mentioned, it's not too big. So it was a small town, and it was budding around certain big plants that were established in the vicinity, like NTPC and Gale.
Okay.
Otherwise, there was nothing much there. There was, and even the land was not fertile. So no people used to actually live there. But eventually, these plants came, and a little bit of business commercialization started, and that's how people started moving in there. New education institutions were opened, and that gave me opportunity to move to that place.
Okay.
And had a bit of better education as compared to what I was having in my initial days.
And how old were you when you moved to Dibyapur?
Yeah, as I remember, I was around 5 to 6 years old,
Okay.
so quite young.
Yeah.
And it was still comprehending a lot of things. It was kind of coming out of the well situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you move to a bigger town, where did you move there from? Was there, like, was your original village where you come from until you lived until 5 years old, was it even smaller village?
Yeah, it was very small. Yeah, to give you an idea, it was so small. The primary school was having just 2 rooms. So how my education began was, I still have a very vivid memory of that. I used to carry this jute bags where which are used for packing wheats and
Right.
paddies and stuff.
Right.
I used to carry these jute bags and go to school. And since there were only 2 rooms, we used to sit under the tree. And my father used to say, you have to sit in the front. So in the village, the rule was the one who goes first, he will be the one deciding where the class will be and from where it will be starting. So I used to go like 4:35 in the morning to put the jute bag to make sure that the class is there and starts from there. And I am the first one who's sitting the first row.
Okay.
Even though there was no row, it was like you have to define it.
Yeah.
So the first person reaching there was the one who's defining. So it was, yeah, it was nice. I would not say it was bad. It was one of the experience, quite a humble experience that still keeps me rooted, those memories. And I would like to remember them time and again, so that it gives me a sense of belongingness, a sense from where I come, so that I can retrospect my life from that perspective.
That's a deep thought, I
Yeah.
would say. But also very important to remember where you come from. And I share the same thought because, as I said, I also come from a very small town in India. Not as small as Dibyapur, but I come from Itarsi, which is like now I think 150,000 people. Still a town.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, just the cricketing journey, not having a professional ground, just having a small garden kind of place where we used to play, just making the most out of it.
Exactly.
Because we didn't know how good at it can be. What is the professional ground? I didn't even know that.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of culture has been there since
Yeah.
cricket is has been in the DNA of most of the Indians of our
Yeah.
generation, I would say, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, the important thing was not how professionally things are available to you. The important for us, if you remember now, was somehow to get into a situation, someplace, somewhere,
Yeah.
so that we can play cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket was the most important thing.
Yeah.
So, so we even worked hard to make a place for us. For
Yeah.
example, in our town, there were no proper even fields. So what we did was, when the farming season was gone, so there will be leftovers of the plants or the whatever has been done there, and then we'll try to prepare a pitch for the season, or make something flat so that ball doesn't end up somewhere else when we bowl. So something kind of pitch we try to bring in, and as everybody knows who is from India and
Yeah.
or from the town, we don't have proper wickets. We use the breaks.
That's true. Yeah.
So that was the case there in my case as well. So we'll use the breaks, and yeah, we were very keen on creating opportunities for playing. Doesn't matter what time, because I have played like since 5 in the morning when it was holidays, and also in the afternoons when it was sun was shining bright in North India. You know how hot it is during summers. So making
48 degrees.
48 degrees, and sun is scorching heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't have sunscreens. We were not bothered about wearing full t-shirts, so we don't get too much melanin in our skin.
Right.
Nothing bothered us.
Yeah.
Actually. So it was all about being focused, playing. We want to play.
Yeah. That's
Some way
the
or the
secret of our permanent tan as well.
I would say so.
No, but that's so true, because now when I think when you're sharing this, I also I'm going back my memory lane, and I'm thinking like, whatever we used to get, we used to make a facility out of it. Like you mentioned, we didn't have wickets. We used to have walls behind, just paint a wicket. on
Exactly.
top of
Chalk
that.
it out.
Chalk it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes like only I remember after playing 1 or 2 years, when I was from 8 until 10 maybe, then we started having wickets, because then parents started investing and thought maybe, okay, he is serious about the game, so maybe let me pitch in just enough for the wicket. Then we started having wickets. And one very funny story comes to my mind, like one time we were playing during monsoon season when it was not raining, fortunately. And we thought, okay, that's the perfect time to play cricket. We went there, and in the garden that I mentioned, it was not a ground, but it was a smaller ground slash garden type of place. And I was fielding. We were only 4 or 5 players. That's if we have 5 players, we have done
The
very
game
well.
is on.
Yeah, game is on. With I used to play with 3 of my closest friends, so we were 4 all the time. But we had 1 or 2 more extra players on that day. So we went there, and I was fielding in long on, and just waiting for the bowler to ball. I felt something on my foot, and I was like, okay, I'm so concentrated at the bowler that I'll have a look after 1 second, split second after he has bowled, right? He was on the run up when I felt something on my foot. He bowled the ball, and then I looked. It was a snake which had already passed. It was on my foot when the bowler was on the run up, and it had passed afterwards. And my God, that was
Yeah,
so
that is
frightening.
scary, right?
Yeah.
But so can you imagine the kind of focus we used to put in playing? So
Yeah.
focused, we will not think about anything else.
That's true.
But now imagine, now we are thinking of 1,000 other things, doing something in our life, right?
Yeah.
But that time, I'm still amazed when I actually think about those times. I was so focused, nothing used to worry us. The only thing was, okay, what we are going to do. Even before playing, even in school, because we knew we will go and play after the school. We will make plans how we'll bowl, where we'll keep the ball, or how we're going to bat. Those were the plans which were always going through our minds.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of passion we used to carry for cricket since our childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. And now you've definitely did not come here directly from India, right? Because as far as I know you, we've been playing in the same team for past 3 years.
Right.
So this is more of a refresher course for me.
Yeah.
So when you moved away from India, did you also continue to play cricket there wherever you moved? And first of all, before that, where was your first stop after India?
Okay, so the first stop after India, outside, it was Johannesburg, South Africa.
Okay.
And
also a cricketing nation?
Of course, and it was amazing. So there, I had no idea how would I carry out my passion in that place.
Yeah.
But amazingly well, there is more facilities available in South Africa as compared to Netherlands, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have lush green grounds where you can play. That we have here as well, but there you have dedicated grounds. Here you have for example, ACC ground 1 that is also used for golf.
Right.
But in South Africa, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So there we used to have lush green grounds, nice pitches.
Yeah.
But outdoor cricket I played only on certain occasions.
Okay.
But there I used to play indoor cricket. So there used to be a very good tournament in the indoor cricket. And it is so popular in South Africa. I heard some of the international players also took some time out and they would come and just enjoy themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a very nice concept given that the kind of weather that country has. It is similar to Netherlands. The temperatures are similar. It's just that it is on the other hemisphere. So it's exactly opposite.
Yeah. Or is it raining all the time there?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it means, fascinating. It means, somehow the Dutch people have found another country, but in the different hemisphere, which is having quite similar climatic conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, that I realized when I spent some time in this country, that because that country is also it was, I think, colonized by Dutch, and there are so many Dutch people I worked there. So as I was talking about the indoor cricket, we used to go there every alternate night. We used to have tournaments. And actually, we won there. Actually, I personally played 3 seasons in there, and I have won gold, silver, and bronze. All the 3 medals.
Nice.
I still have them. I still cherish them, and it was lovely. And the ball they use. Yeah. As you already know, I like swinging the ball, and that ball used to swing a lot. It's a ball between tennis and the actual leather ball which we play here.
So it's not that heavy?
It's not that heavy.
Okay.
It's a bit bigger in shape, nice seam,
Okay.
leathery touch. and it used to swing a lot, and it was magical for me. And that gave me confidence to swing the ball.
Yeah.
I did not used to swing the ball. For that matter, I never played a leather ball cricket in India.
Okay.
Yeah. So because, as I mentioned, I'm from a small town. I did not move out till my 12th standard. And and after that, I never joined a club. So that was the first time when I joined certain club. I played outdoor cricket as well as indoor cricket. So it was interesting. There are in Johannesburg, you have cricketing shops. You can get cricketing things like bat and ball and everything. And yeah, it was very lovely. And since that was the first place which I went outside India. Still, I used to think that, okay, you can get all cricketing stuff in certain shop or the other in any country.
Yeah.
And that myth was broken when I came here.
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't even get a proper ball here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to outsource everything here, right, to play cricket.
Right. I mean, now, just thinking about the facility and also like just the cricketing stuff that you can buy, I think now it's growing a lot.
A lot, yes.
Based on, of course, how the international team is doing, but also the number of expats who are coming from India or subcontinent. They are also trying to make it easier for the others who are playing the
game. Exactly. Now you can find, if not available in the native shops, you can always find ways to source them.
Yeah.
So it has become much easier. Now there are channels set up, lines established as a kind of thing which you can help us in getting stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so in a way it is definitely growing in Netherlands, or we may say it's growing with us, I would say, because we have seen it growing together with us. We don't know what used to happen before that.
That's true.
Yeah, so
maybe people used to have difficult time to get this stuff.
Those things,
Yeah, that's true. So coming back to your journey in cricket, so you played and basically became a swing bowler in South Africa, and then how long did you play there before moving to Netherlands?
In South Africa, I spent around 2.5 years there.
Okay.
So in that duration, I used to play regularly.
Okay.
So mostly it was indoor cricket. I played 1 or 2 matches outside that. I used to go to practice sessions on the outdoor cricket. So in those 1 or 2 matches, I was actually able to perform very well in one of those matches. I even took 5 wickets in one of the matches and awarded man of the match. I still cherish those memories as well because it is one of the first organized cricket award I got.
Right.
So if you put it that way, so
sure.
It was a very big deal for me.
Yeah.
So I made sure I am available to take it in person.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. It was a lovely feeling. Still cherish it.
Nice. And then you came to Netherlands, and did you straight away know that you're going to join ACC, or did you also just go to other clubs and basically figure out what are the nice clubs or what are the nice facilities, or how was the decision making to join a club here?
Okay, I would say, it was accidental, because initial days which I came to Netherlands, I spent in the first 2 years I spent in Groningen.
Okay.
And there's no cricket yet in Groningen.
Oh yeah, actually, happy to report that they started a cricketing club this year.
Yeah, and that is one of my very good friends, that is Ravi.
Okay.
Who actually took that initiative, and now they have put an application to KNCB, and they have now managed to open this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are still hunting for the ground to find proper ground to play and stuff. But the good part is, as you already mentioned, they have managed to introduce that in Groningen as well.
Yeah.
So the first 2 years it was like a kind of, Groningen is another part of Netherlands. It's far north. It's quite unconnected to the Randstad.
Yeah.
So after that I moved to Den Haag, and still no touch with cricket. And then when I moved to Hoofddorp, when I got my own house, and one of the team members from ACC4 became my colleague.
Okay.
And that's when he invited me, or I showed some interest while we were talking, and he said, why don't you come down and check it out? And that was the first time I came down and met some wonderful people in there, and that caught my interest, and I made sure that it is going to continue from here on.
Okay. And who was that colleague?
That is Girish.
Girish?
Yeah.
We should thank Girish to recruit you.
Of course. Of course, yeah. Means, although he was not captain at the time, but he was extremely friendly.
Right.
Even after 1 or 2 sessions which I came in, I was not member then. We used to go out, eat some vada paos at Tahur, me,
Nice.
Girish, and Vishal, who actually introduced me to this team.
Okay.
And Vishal Tingre, he is not in Netherlands now. He's
Yeah.
moved back to India,
Yeah.
but he has settled a good path for me to follow.
Nice.
And yeah, since then I've been enjoying this thoroughly, and I've never looked for any other club because I did not need to.
Yeah, no, so from my side, so as I mentioned already, we've been teammates for past 3 years. And I think you are one of those people who everyone looks up to because of your experience with the game. I don't know, maybe it's not just that, but I feel like it's also the way that you manage the team members when you were vice captain. It was a very subtle role, not too prominent because the decision making was mostly done by the captain, but you made sure that everyone is utilized in the best way possible, uh, and they show the best of their capabilities, right? And that was something I think that it was and it is still underappreciated. So I'd like to appreciate that on this podcast, because I think without you, I think the team is a bit of it is a bit incomplete in a sense. I'm not even talking skill based, right? I'm talking about the attitude in the team, the atmosphere in the team. You lift it up when it's required. You bring us down when we are flying high to make sure we are not flying too high. So that is something which is extremely important to have in any team, and you are the guy who does it for ACC4. So thank you so much.
Sure, Sushant. Yeah, it means. Yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, and thanks for all the appreciation. And yeah, means as a vice captain, I mean, there's a story behind that as well, right?
Okay.
So as a vice, I mean, it was not like, okay, we decided that, okay, let's have a vice captain, that was voting and stuff as such. It was the need of the hour at that time. There were some situations in the team where, okay, Girish was stepping up as a captain, and then there was some proposals who could be the vice captain. And actually initially I did not know whether to pitch in for that or not. But I got a call from a lot of our colleagues that why don't you try, or why don't you pitch in, because we would like to go with you. Actually that actually inspired me, or that actually pushed me to the edge where I would say I went there and put myself out for the same thing. But I would not say I was ready. But yeah, for that matter, means the kind of upbringing I have, I'm always ready for anything. So,
nice, savage.
So yeah, so just try to fit in the role, help the team where the need be. So for me, the important thing is cricket, right? It's not all about any of us. Of course, when you focus on the game, when you're on the ground, you're focused on the game, but it's a team, right? And the team is made of people, and you have to have a good connect with people. Yeah, but
and especially the level of cricket that we play, we are not playing representing our nation or anything. We are just playing like out of our own interest, right?
Exactly.
And if you don't feel belonged to that team, to those group of people, then it's difficult to spend the whole day every week with those people, right? So
and people put a lot of emotion in there, right?
Exactly.
And to manage those kind of emotions, to keep your head straight, and you should be you have to give it quite a thought when you speak out. You have to focus on certain things. You have to filter out certain things. So we have seen the whole journey. You have been around for 3 years now, right? You have seen the emotional outbursts, the happy moments, the enthusiastic one, over enthusiasm over the field. I would not say over enthusiasm. That may seem a bit negative,
but more emotional.
More emotional, I would say. And I think some way or the other, that's also important. That keep you in the game. Right. So that shows you how passionate you are about the game. And also you mentioned that, okay, we are not playing professional cricket. So my viewpoint here would be, if we don't play, that's correct. So there is always balance. If we start thinking completely in that way, we are not playing professional cricket, then I would say at some level with a team of say 12 or 15 members, you may lose focus. And when you lose focus, you will stop enjoying it. Because eventually, why are we on the ground? To play cricket.
Yeah,
And
to
that's give us compete,
Yeah.
play cricket. That's give us the most pleasure. We are drawing pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
And that keeps us together.
Yeah.
We are some random group of people, right? We are not colleagues. We are not family friends. We are some random group of people met on the ground. So what keeps us together is cricket. So if we lose focus in there, then everything falls apart.
So you're saying that the motivation should be there of competing.
Of course, there should be,
And I
but a
completely
healthy
agree.
one.
Yeah.
But a healthy one. Then otherwise means, see you, I see you as one of the more enthusiastic guys, and the passion, the kind of passion you carry, the kind of commitment that is shown. You are a fast bowler for our team, right? So your aggression, that commitment is there. Otherwise, we will stop enjoying the game
That's
itself,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Imagine there's no Sushant in the team. We don't see that aggression. Everybody comes and delivers. Okay, that's fine. I'm not that aggressive person, but we need that kind of aggression in a fast bowler.
Yeah.
So there is a balance. There should be a balance. There should be a mix. You bring that balance.
Yeah.
So you bring that balance. We have different personalities in our team. So aggressive personality, calm personality. So we need all those characters.
Yeah.
So that keeps us on our toes,
Yeah.
right? That keeps us competitive, motivated. So that is important.
Yeah, I mean, for my aggression, I can say that I don't know. I don't really know where it comes from.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, right? That means you're so much into it. No, I will not say too much. You're so much into it that I thoroughly enjoy that. I would say I never had an objection. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it, and then we will deal it after the game.
Yeah, it's something like when I finish the game, automatically there is a button which switches off, and I don't remember. I remember what happened, but I don't want to focus on the aggressive part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the games we were playing, I had too much to say or celebrate once I took the wicket. But after the game, I talked with the guy and I apologized, like, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
And take it easy, So, yeah, I don't really know how to control that, but I also don't want to, because it's the part of the game and it comes hand in hand being a fast bowler, I guess.
Exactly. See, cricket is a gentleman's game. That's all fine. But we are also like the people from the age where football is also quite popular.
Yeah.
Or I would say in these areas, in Europe, it is more popular.
Yeah.
And football has quite a good amount of aggression, and you follow football, right?
Yes.
So I would say, you bring in certain game spirit into the cricket. So means, as you mentioned, if you can calm down after the game, you leave it on the ground.
Yeah.
You can always mend relationships, because we are going to spend we have spent a lot of time together. We will spend a lot of time together. Nothing personal. It's all about the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it doesn't instigate any other person or personally insult someone, it's all okay.
Absolutely.
I would say.
I remember one of the podcasts where Harsha Bhogle said the handshakes after the game is so important because it reminds us that it's just a game.
Exactly. Yeah. And here's a very valid and very correct point, right?
Yeah.
When you shake a hand, you just say, okay, it's done here, it's packed here, we are all good, let's move out, enjoy the life.
Exactly. So, thanks for bringing me back my memories again, but I keep coming back with my side of story. We've been playing in ACC for 3 years now. You've been mainly our fast bowler in the team. Did you always want to become a fast bowler, or did you have, like, your passion was somewhere else?
No, in a way, I was always a bowler first.
Okay.
I enjoyed batting, of course, and I performed as well in my, not the leather ball game, but I played tournaments, the tennis ball tournaments in my town and stuff. So I was kind of all-rounder, but I always been the fast bowler first.
Okay.
So that was the kind of thing which I always focus. So when it is time to choose, I'll always choose bowling.
Okay.
So that's the kind of thing which I have developed since I have started playing cricket.
Okay. Sorry to take another detour, but it happened so recently I have to share it. Once last season, I was playing a game with Zomi. The captain asked me, we don't have any place in the middle order, so you have to pick one role. Either you bowl, but you don't get to bat until from 1 to number 10, or you open the batting, and then we think about if you get the ball or not. And until that point, I was really very eager to bat, and for the past 3 years, as you know, I'm trying to climb up that ladder from 11. Now I'm batting on number 9 or something, but it's just some interest is there to bat, right? And at that moment, I had a decision to make, whether I open, which I've never done in my life, or I open the bowling, which I usually do. And I still chose bowling. Within split second, the answer came out bowling.
Yeah, of course, means yeah, means you follow fast bowling not just because you want to do, means somebody wants you to do it. Fast bowlers are always by their choice.
Yeah.
You cannot be a fast bowler by somebody else's choice. You can
That's
be a
true.
spinner by somebody else's
Yeah.
choice. You can be a part-time spinner, not a fast bowler.
Yeah. And being a fast bowler is also, I think, most of the people want to do when they start playing cricket. And that's my opinion, by the way. But like, I feel like most of the people want to have that adrenaline rush. And if they cannot do it because of their action or because of the speed or whatever, then they figure out what I want to become. What can I do in this game to stay in the game?
Exactly, and that has happened to lot many international cricketers as well, right?
Yeah.
So means, for example,
Oh,
Dhoni, right? So he was kind of footballer, and then he became something else. Some cricketers came as fast bowlers, and they became excellent batters.
Yeah, Anil Kumble, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a lot many examples in Indian cricket as well. So
Yeah.
that happens in India. It takes some time to figure out,
Yeah.
but eventually you will figure out, because there's a lot of cricket played in India, right?
Yeah.
So at some stage or the other, you
Yeah.
can always figure out.
Absolutely. And also bowling, I prefer bowling a little bit more than batting, also because in this game, we are asking the questions as bowlers.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
it's a proactive decision from our side and a reactive approach from the batsman side.
Yeah. So as a batsman, you just get one chance, right?
Yeah.
One chance, I would say, and from the sense that if you get out, you get out.
Yeah.
You're out of the ground.
Yeah.
But as a bowler, there's always chance to come back each and every ball.
Yeah, you ask different questions.
yeah.
Okay, you answer that one, I'm gonna come with
Come
another
with
one.
different one. You hit me 4 sixes, that's fine. On the fifth ball, if I get you out, you are done and dusted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always have a chance. So as a fast, that is also one of the things which may inspire people to become a fast bowler, or the one who likes to challenge, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. And I'd also like to ask about the team itself now that you've been playing for ACC for 3 years. And I think this we have mentioned 5 times already in the podcast.
Yeah.
But with the perspective of the team, how do you see us doing better, or how do you see us going forward? Just as a context also, before you answer that question, we started from scratch, no experience for most of the players. Like myself, I did not have any leather ball experience. Then 3 years ago, we formed a team. Then we moved to, we still played for 3rd or 4th division, slowly climbed the ladder with a promotion somehow. And now we just very close to get promoted again, right?
Yeah.
And we finished 2nd. And now, how do you see our team to regroup after that kind of, I would say, low on morale team right now, because we could have gotten promoted until the last game and then we lost the last game. So how do you see us coming back together? What do you say to the lads? How to regroup themselves, leave whatever behind, whatever happened, and how do you move forward to that?
Okay, first of all, means talking about our team ACC4, it has got a very strong core, I would say. So some of the guys which originally formed the team, they are quite experienced, and they are quite talented as well. So those form the core of the team, and then we also started entering the core, spending some time with the team. So this team has got certain kind of character. If you see how, as you already mentioned, in 3 years what we have achieved, if you assess it that way, we have got already promoted once. We are very close second in the last season. So actually, if you have to see the holistic picture, I would always say to the teammates, look at the holistic picture. We are improving every step of the way. We are, if you see the last season, let's start with last season. We were heavily dependent on our batting. So we were like, okay, no, sorry, heavily dependent on the bowling part,
Right.
right? And batting was like, okay,
Yeah.
it can crumble at any time. We did not have that much faith in our batting.
Right.
Imagine the last season. How many times have we scored 200 plus scores?
True.
So, and that too emphatically, and most of the top order or the middle order contributing in that process. So we have got centuries, like guys hitting centuries. We have guys, you in the last in the season which just passed by, you took 5 wickets, right? So these kind of performances are coming up. So I would say just don't keep your spirits high, just because it's just a matter of time. So you will perform, you will get to the next class. You can outperform anyone, because the kind of character, the kind of energy we are putting in, the kind of balance we are having in the team, the strength, batting and bowling, everything is coming around. Even the fielding aspect, I see it has improved a lot. Although I would say we can put more effort and improve a bit further, as you've always been saying, and I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But still, it has improved. So I would say, yeah, just keep your spirits high. We can be there anytime. Come up with the fresh spirit. Forget about the bad part of the last things. Take the learnings and move ahead. Right.
Right.
Cricket is a game of temperament. After you get the skills, you get the talent, you get a balanced team, it's all about the temperament. If you keep the temperament, you win the game.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
Before we close, last question from my side, and I ask this to every guest. You have played cricket for such a long time, and so different places, so many different locations with so many different people. There has to be some moments which have stuck with you.
Yeah.
So any moments that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, of course, means it is not funny though. It's more like inspiring one.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
Because
of course.
means, yeah, I always try to look at the things in a funny way all the time. So
Yeah.
nothing especially stood out. I always enjoy a company. But from the memory wise, as I mentioned, in South Africa, when I played outdoor, I got 5 wickets. That is one of the most memorable moments, because when I was bowling on that pitch, it was not looking like I had a grip on the ball. So yeah, I bowled my first spell with 2 overs or so, 2 or 3 overs. Nothing turned out. It was like, okay, I was not able to pitch the ball at the place where I wanted to pitch. And in the next spell, when I came, I don't know what happened. It was like there were left-handers, right-handers, and both the type of batsmen. I was able to grip the ball and pitch it so nice. I felt so confident. I still remember that feeling. I not only catch, I bowled them out. I took the bails off. I did everything what I could. It looked like it was my day.
Nice.
So that always stuck to my memory. So that is one of the most memorable matches which I played, and I eventually ended up taking 5 wickets. And yeah, it was like when the match began, I was no one, and after the match, I had something to talk about.
Nice. Vivek, thank you so much for joining.
Sure. Thanks a lot for having me here, Sushant, and it was lovely talking to you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.